welcome back to the Pirate Ragnar Motovlog channel, everyone. I'm Alistair, that's Chelsea, and today's the last day we get to take Malls for a rip before the registration expires, and I have to wait until Ontario blesses me with sending the full driver's license history that I need in order to make the transition here to BC. Which again, I will admit, is my fault. I definitely should have done that research before we left Ontario. And with COVID in full swing, I definitely should have assumed the worst. So the entire morning was spent just trying to get Malls running. Apparently, she decided to throw some gremlins at me last minute, and the starting solenoid really started to act up. So there's a bit of footage there, I guess. Hey, horse, what's going on, man? Okay, so the JV weld lasted exactly maybe 10 minutes. Yep. So, you know, as optimistic as I was in the last video, that's what happened. Alright, well, we're still going to continue. We're going to go for a little rip today. We're going to try and really enjoy this last day on Malls. We don't really have any destination in mind. We're leaving way too late for that. Malls threw gremlins at me all morning between the solenoid and this exhaust. Yeah, it's what? It's 3:30, and we left about 10 minutes ago. So, there you go. As she says, about on track like last time. That's my logistics skills right there. But we'll put up with the smell of the JV weld burning off, and we'll keep in mind that our exhaust is not exactly the quietest thing in the world right now. But we are going to just kind of explore a little bit. The thing I find most annoying about this area, if you only have a street bike, is that there's not very far off of 99 that you can really go in any direction. It's just a fact. You're going to end up on Forest Service roads pretty much like within a few kilometers of getting off of 99. The only exception to that really is when you're in the cities or towns themselves, like Whistler, Squamish, Pemberton. You absolutely can kind of drive around in those areas, but they're not nearly as scenic, obviously. So it's not really where you want to spend all your time riding. Alright, well, we're just kind of scooting up this road a little bit to have a slightly scenic ride. It smells nice back in here, that's for sure. Do you remember, babe? Well, that's the trail we took. I proposed to this lady down that trail. Huh? Yep. Walked down, checked out the sign, realized it was a trail, and said, alright, let's check it out. I mean, I was scheming something, but she didn't know that. We finally found a road and we don't know where it goes. So we're gonna find out. Immediately went to a very shitty road. Okay, cool. mudslide area. How this whole area is it's prone to mudslides because of loose volcanic stone and stuff, apparently, and that's why you're not allowed to camp here no matter what. There's no overnight camping, apparently. So I don't know exactly the significance of overnight camping other than, you know, if there's a mudslide and you're sleeping, you're not going to be able to do much, but I don't know that there's much you can do if you're awake and there's a mudslide. So, like, it's just shitty dice, right? Like, have your permit ready. Yeah, I didn't see the permit sign before. So this is another BC park, I see. I wonder what park it is. Just listen to that exhaust. Oh, it's fucking terrible. We're gonna finally check out what's this way. This reminds me of some of those roads we drove out west on. Those are some of the nicest bits, that's for sure. When it wasn't dark. I hate this stuff. It's not as bad as the open grate stuff, but right here where my foot is, that would be so slick with these tires. Especially if it's wet. I did not expect this road to go nearly this far up the valley, that's for sure. I thought it was just the one road that went up into the valley. Sorry, it tagged this place as what? As nowhere? Okay. Are those people on bicycles? Kinda looks like it. This is a really skeevy road. Huh? Well, yeah, of course. But even compared to some of the trails we've been on, this is just real... The top surface is just incredibly loose. There's no packing here, like, whatsoever. Doesn't feel like it. Yeah, I don't want to keep going too much further, but I'm curious. So we'll go a bit further and then I'll pull out the map and see what we're missing. Yeah, that back tire doesn't really want to sit still. You feel it too? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna slow down here. What's this? This is what the sign I saw earlier. So it's just the Great Trail. Okay, so we're more kind of still following along the highway, just along the river. See? Whereas the other road that we would normally take is this one, and we go along the other river, Squamish River. Rather than, what is this? Like, it's just like a tributary that's unnamed? Huh. Anyway. But it would, if you continue this way, I'm sure you end up down where you look up at the highway, you know? Like, and it's this. It's that just super soft stuff. There's like no pack here. It just comes up so easy. Well, we won't get stuck with this in the same way that you would with a vehicle. But if we'd hit stuff like this, which it's not likely to sit, the reason it's kind of like this is because it's so flat. So it is graded. And then the rain doesn't run anything off. But I just mean if we'd hit a patch of something like this when we were on like an incline or a decline, that would have been bad news, because you almost can't stop the tire from sliding out on something like this. I do not. I know it very well. So like no one is as good as this at it without practicing, babe. So what do you think I do in the mirror every morning? Babe, the answer is nothing. I obviously don't use a mirror ever. That you had the perfect opportunity to throw that one at me. Come on, lady. Well, there's a good chance this video consisted mostly of choice music from Purple Planet and some rather cinematic views from here in BC. But because malls will be out of commission for a little bit until I can get the registration and licensing sorted out, I have a couple of projects in mind that I'd like to share with you guys so you know what's coming up on this channel. There's a little series that I wanted to call, and I was playing around with this like really nifty idea of calling it Jobs That Seem Hard But Aren't That Difficult. Yeah, that's a terrible name, but there's a couple of things on this bike that do need to be addressed that aren't actually that difficult, but are a little overwhelming or intimidating for certain people. Things like wheel bearings or fork seals. So I want to get those things addressed. I do need to look at the clutch to see if the clutch needs to be replaced in this old bad boy. So we'll look at that, and we could possibly do a, for anyone who has never changed the clutch in their motorcycle, and again thinks it's, you know, a very daunting task or something. As long as you prepare everything and you plan it out, then it's super simple. And you definitely don't need to be bringing your bike into a shop to do something like that. So, and the other thing that I had in mind that you can never do when you actually want to use your bike anytime soon, because this job can go terribly wrong and is definitely not an easy one, I really finally want to get around to redoing the entire wiring harness. So we'll get into that. Look forward to that on the channel. If you are liking the content that you guys are seeing here, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you just want to help the channel in any way, the best thing you can do is share some of these videos on social media and just let your friends and fellow riders know that I'm booting around BC and I'd love to share my experiences with you. So until next time, ride safe and ride fun, and we will see you on the next video.